Hi, hey, hello, how are you? And welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I gotta be so for real. I have not been reading. I have just not been into it. Nothing bad happened. It's not like I read a book that sucked and it put me in a reading slump. I just haven't been feeling the vibes. So I wanted to tell you what I have been doing. I wanted to talk about what I have been watching on TV, what movies I've been watching, what YouTube channels I've been watching, and what music I've been listening to. And I wanted to talk about it because these are things that I love, that I've been so passionate about, and I need to get it off my chest. And I also feel like it's really interesting to me what other people are watching and listening to, so maybe this will give you some recommendations. So first things first, I've said this before on my channel, but I am a big reality TV girly. It took a minute for me to accept that about myself because I feel like, unfortunately, the culture is just like, reality TV is lame and girls like reality TV because they're stupid. And so I was always like, no, I'm not really into that, but like, yes, girl, you are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Reality TV is amazing. So I watched season 4 of Traitors with my wife and we were obsessed. Like, when I tell you, we were fiending for it every week. I had been hearing from a lot of people that I should really watch The Traitors and that I would really like it. So we watched season 1, got completely hooked. We watched season 2 because Bergie from one of the seasons of Love Island USA was on it. We were super into it. We started season 3 and didn't really care for whatever reason. So we were like, let's just skip to season 4. We were super excited about season 4 because Rob from season 6 of Love Island USA was gonna be in it. And when I tell you that I am obsessed with that man, I am not joking. Maura Higgins from Love Island UK was also gonna be on it. And even though we haven't watched all of the Love Island UK seasons, we know her because she hosted After Sun during season 6 and then some of 7. So they were both gonna be on it and we were stoked, so we caught up, and then we were to the point where it was live and we had to wait for it to be released every week, and that was awful. But oh my god, what a season. If you know, you know. Rob is, he's amazing. He's amazing. So once that season ended, we were like, what are we gonna do? We need our reality TV fix. Thankfully, just about like 2.5 weeks after that, season 4 of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives came out. And that was just chef's kiss. We are so hooked. We're obsessed with The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. In fact, I will say that like I'm just kind of intrigued by Mormons in general, but we've been watching that show since it started. So season 4 was amazing, so interesting, but the real drama started after season 4 aired because season 4 was supposed to come out and then like right on the heels of that, The Bachelorette was gonna come out. Now, I'm not a part of Bachelor Nation. I just feel really intimidated because I've never gotten into it. So if you feel like you know a season that could be good to start with, I don't know, I'm open to recommendations. But Taylor Frankie Paul from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives was going to be the new Bachelorette, and then they pulled her season because she got into a little bit of trouble with the police for some domestic violence charges. So ABC pulled her season, and that was like the drama. That was such drama. There's still drama going on, and it's like we're eating it up, but also it's like serious shit. So that's a whole thing. But yes, we love The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. We did not watch The Bachelorette because it didn't air. Another honorable mention, I am kind of slowly going back through the old seasons of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I have watched every episode of The Kardashians on Hulu since that came out, but I never watched Keeping Up with the Kardashians because when it was on originally, when it first came out, I was like obviously a child. That show ran for like 15 seasons or something, and I was not allowed to watch it. So I've been going back through those seasons. I have been trying my best to watch them chronologically, which is really hard because there's like multiple spin-off shows that happen in between the seasons of Keeping Up. So I am just about to start season 7 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I just got to the point where I watched Kim and Chris Humphrey's wedding, which is so weird because before every one of those wedding episodes, they show like this statement that's like, Kim filed for divorce 72 days after marrying this man. Here's her statement, but we're still gonna put these episodes out anyway. I don't know, it's just really funny to me, and so I'm excited to move on to season 7 of that. As for non-reality TV, the only thing I've been watching recently is really random. I've been watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magic with my cats. I know that was an insane sentence to say, but I grew up watching My Little Pony with my little sisters, and so it's super nostalgic for me, and my sisters and I were talking about My Little Pony recently, and I was like, my god, like I miss it so much. Like I miss my sisters. We don't all live near each other anymore, and so I put it on just to like have a little shot of nostalgia, and my extremely elusive cat Winnie, she came out of nowhere and decided to sit with me and literally watch My Little Pony. Like she is sitting there eyes glued to the TV and she's letting me pet her. And Winnie she was originally feral. We literally like captured her, took her to the vet to make sure she was okay, and then we just like took her. Like she was just born outside. She didn't have any owners or anything, and so now Winnie is ours. But she's got that feral spirit inside her still. So she is not really down with me, but her sitting and watching My Little Pony allows me to pet her. And she is the softest cat I've ever pet, and I'm obsessed with her. It's literally sounds like I'm talking about somebody else's cat. This is my cat. We've had her for like 2 years or something, but My Little Pony has helped us connect as mother and daughter, and so you can find us watching My Little Pony almost every night before we go to sleep. Another thing that I've watched recently is a documentary. I actually got recommended this from an email from Netflix. They were like, hey, we have a new documentary, you might like it. It's called The Plastic Detox. I watched it and I cannot stop thinking about it. I am generally like an eco-conscious girly, and I go through seasons of being more into it, and then sometimes, I'll be honest, I get really stressed out about the state of the world and our environment, and so I kind of take a step back. But I try to take in media on a regular basis that helps me remember to be eco-conscious, because it is something that's really important to me, and I would really suggest that you watch this documentary. It was really interesting. It talks about obviously how big of a problem plastic is, and how we, especially in the US, make so much plastic. We make so many things out of plastic that do not need to be made out of plastic, and all of this plastic is going to be on our earth forever. And obviously some plastic is necessary, and this wasn't a documentary that was saying like all plastic is evil, but it was specifically talking about the forever chemicals that are in plastic that then go into our bodies and can create some serious health problems. This documentary specifically talked about how it can affect fertility, and not that that's something that I am super invested in personally, but I just thought it was really interesting and honestly like creepy how much it affects our bodies just because everything around us all the time is plastic. And so they had these 6 couples that had fertility problems for at least 2 years each. I think one of the couples was like 10 years or something, and they had this woman that's an expert on plastics and the chemicals in them. They ran these tests to see how many of these forever chemicals that are in plastics are in their bloodstreams, and it was actually crazy how high their levels were. And then they basically tried their hardest to not use plastic in any form, just do whatever they can to get away from it for 6 months, I believe. And at the end, the results were insane. It was insane. It was a really interesting documentary. If you have Netflix, I highly recommend you watch it. I've been thinking about it constantly. The last movie that I saw in theaters was Send Help with Rachel McAdams and Dylan O'Brien. I had really wanted to see it because I had seen the trailer for it, and I had just never seen a movie with Rachel McAdams in that kind of role. I mean, I feel like when you think of Rachel McAdams, you think of Mean Girls, The Notebook, The Vow, stuff like that. She's an amazing actress, but I was really intrigued to see her in such a different role. It's definitely like a thriller, and I was really intrigued by that, and I think she did an amazing job in it. So did Dylan O'Brien, and I really liked it. Honestly, I would recommend it, so I'm really glad that I got to see that in theaters. Now on to YouTube. I personally watch so much YouTube. I love YouTube as a form of entertainment. I could honestly give up TV. Like, I am such a YouTube girly. I always have been. YouTube Premium is literally the only streaming service that we pay for personally. Everything else we like share with my wife's family. But if they decided to like kick us off of everything, we would only pay for YouTube Premium. Like, we don't really care about any of the other streaming platforms, but YouTube Premium is so worth it personally. So I spend a lot of time watching YouTube, and I watch a lot of random shit on there, but I feel like the channels that I've been coming back to over and over again lately are these ones. I am a big fan of Shauna Rapari. She does videos on conscious consumption, sustainability, calling out overconsumption in other creators, but in like a kind way. I really like the things she has to say. I really like her video format. She has such like a calming presence, and I think she was the YouTuber that I watched the most last year according to my like YouTube stats, and that will always be true. Like, I love her videos. Next, I've been getting back into catching up on Destiny Sidwell's videos. I have always loved watching her reading videos, but since she's like gotten older and become a mom, I feel like her videos are a lot shorter, and to be honest, sometimes I really like that. I don't always feel like watching a 50-minute reading vlog, and so I feel like I've been really into her stuff again, and that's been really fun. This past week, I have been obsessed with catching up on Neve McKinnon's vlogs. She is an influencer that is based in Scotland. She lives on the Isle of Skye, and she just bought a house. Good for her, girl. Wish it was me, but she is renovating this cute little cottage. It's so cute, and she is just making it the most adorable, girly, whimsy little cottage. And I also love renovation content. I have never renovated anything. I've only ever rented, and so I am just super intrigued by it, and I love watching that process. So I've been really into watching her videos lately. I've also just rediscovered Fundy Fridays. I have watched Fundy Fridays videos in the past, but I've just gotten to the point where I was like, why was I not subscribed to her? I just go on these deep dives. I go down these rabbit holes, and I think for a while watching Fundy Fridays videos was a little bit triggering for me. I grew up in a kind of strict evangelical Christian environment, and obviously Fundy Fridays focuses more on like fundamentalist families and systems and churches, but it's not far off. And so I think in the past I was just like, it's a little bit too much for me, but now that I have separated myself from that environment for quite a while, it's so interesting to me. It's so interesting when she does these deep dives on certain families and little sects of churches and stuff. Some of it is really heavy stuff, that's for sure, but Jen does an amazing job researching her videos, and I highly recommend if that sounds interesting to you. And then adjacent to that, I'm a huge fan of Alyssa Grenfell. She is an ex-Mormon. I was never a part of the Mormon church, but I think that Mormonism is so interesting. Her videos are amazing. She obviously has like inside knowledge because she used to be a part of the Mormon church, but like the way that she goes on these deep dives, it's insane. I'm so fascinated by it. So I'm also always watching her stuff. And then as far as things that I've been listening to, I love a good podcast. The main podcast that I feel like I listen to at this point is Call Her Daddy, and that's if the guest on it is really interesting. I just watched the Becky G episode the other day. I listen to it and also watch it because I love that they have a visual component to the podcast. I was never like the biggest fan of Becky G, but oh my gosh, like her podcast episode was so good. Highly recommend. If you're an oldest daughter with trauma, go watch that. You'll feel it. But aside from that, I feel like I've been listening to music recently when I'm in the car because I haven't been listening to audiobooks, and I am always coming back to my faves. I am a person that really struggles to get into new music. I kind of just like have my artists and I listen to their stuff, and when they come out with new stuff I get really excited, but it normally takes me like a long time to find somebody new. So I haven't in a long time. I just listened to Sabrina Carpenter over and over again. I love her Short and Sweet album, but I've been listening to Man's Best Friend. She came out with a deluxe edition of that, and I have rediscovered Renee Rapp's latest album because I actually have it on CD and I put it in the car recently and I was like, oh my god, this slaps. How could I have forgotten? And then of course we have Mr. Harry Styles. He has come out with a new album and I am trying to listen to it enough to the point where I can remember the lyrics, and that is really hard for me because I am so bad at memorizing lyrics. So I really like the new album though, so I just need to listen to it more so I can remember what he's saying. Other than that, I feel like that's pretty much it. That's what I have been watching and listening to recently. I would really like to get back into reading, but I always say like it's just best to not force yourself, because if you do then it won't be fun. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was fun. If you liked it, you can like the video. You can subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. All of my social media links are linked in the description below. Comment down below and tell me what you've been watching. I want to know, and maybe I can find something new from your recommendations. Anyway, that's all for me. I'll see you next time. Bye.